Hey everybody, Midnight Wolf here. Welcome back to Pokemon Volt White. Alright, last time, well, we beat the gym leader, barely, sorta, but we beat the gym leader. We beat Lenora. And this time, well, we've got some things we need to sort out. Mainly that Team Plasma is trying to steal some stuff. So let's figure out what's going on. So you've come, Gym Leader. We, Team Plasma, claim this museum's Dragon Skull in the name of Pokemon Liberation. To show you we're serious, we'll steal it right before your eyes. Well, then here's our smoke screen. And Lenora runs off. We need it. We need to go get that. Let's go get that skull back. Alright, now once we're done with this, I'm going to be honest, there's going to be quite a lot of bios we need to go over. So just a word of warning on that. There will be a lot of bios. I might need to speak. There'll be a lot of bios because there's quite a lot of things inside of Pinwheel Forest that we can now run into. Because once you beat the gym leader, we can go into the inner area and run into stuff in the grass. So just a heads up. All right, now that that's done, let's get going. Or not. We have to get the dowsing machine. Alright. Come on. Alright, and there we go. Alright, first I gotta heal. I gotta heal because, well, Lenora did a bit of a number on this. So let's fix that. Alright, and there we go. Now that we've been the second gym leader, I think we can buy new stuff. I think we can buy Great Balls now and buy Super Potions now, I believe. I don't think that was available beforehand. So, I'm gonna buy some Great Balls, just in case, because you never know. And Super Potions for the healing. And since we're going to Pinwheel Forest, let's buy a couple Paralyzed ELs just in case as well. And I don't think anything else. Nope. Alright. Let's get going then. Because we've got a lot of stuff to cover. We've got a lot of things we gotta cover. Get on that. Get on the bike. Alright. Let's go. So, once we get into a battle, I'll start going over the encounters here. And, okay. First, Brooke's gonna explain how the woods work. We need to go through the main part of the forest. Alright. Let's do this. First battle is this double battle here, and funnily enough, the first two Pokemon that are on the list here are Pokemon that are basically version exclusives of each other. No, not Swaddle and Venipede. They can be found in the same game, but Connie and Petalil. I'll start with Connie first, because it's on the list first. Connie and Whimsicott. These two are very good. These two are very good in terms of using Prankster constantly. So to usually get really good effects off usually poison powder, leech seeds, tailwind, stuff like that. Are they good attackers in this game? Not really. Debatable. Oh, they have all right stats. Pretty good move pool as well. But the main thing is that these things are mainly just known for the latter games, where they usually set up a Tailwind or at least Seed, spam Moonblast or Giga Drain, and stuff like that. Although in this case, Condy not being a fairy type is a blessing and a curse. You aren't quad weak to poison anymore. You aren't quad weak to poison anymore. You lose a weakness to steel, but the downside is that you don't have the fairy type and Moonblast anymore. Aside from that, Condy and Whimsicott just don't really have enough moves to really work with here, but it does get Hurricane, so that's something, I guess. Now on to Petalil. Petalil and Lilligant are a slightly tankier version of Whimsicott. They can take a couple more hits. They can take a couple more hits and deal a little bit more damage in some cases. They have you can get you get Own Tempo's ability, which if you pair that with Teeter Danes can be a bit interesting, but that's not the best thing to work with. But something that is good is that Lilligant got quite a bit of a boost in terms of stuff it can now learn. Lilligant mostly, but Petalil also gets a move at level 15 in extra sensory. Lilligant now has access to Earth Power level 64, Psychic, Shadow Ball, and Focus Blast. So I think it's pretty obvious on which one of these two got the better deal here. Lilligant did. But that doesn't mean you still can't use the other one, but Lilligant is much better now. Can deal quite a lot more damage. Still has some crafty gimmicks that grass types usually have to work with, so you have that to go on as well. And overall, it's a pretty solid attacker now with the new moves added to its arsenal. Now then, moving on to the next Pokemon, Swaddle. This thing is fun. This thing's a glass cannon, but really fun when you can outspeed your opponents and just hit them hard with Leaf Blade and stab Leaf Blade and X Scissor, or just setting up a Swords Dance to absolutely destroy things. This thing is fun. And it doesn't really get any changes aside from getting a boost to its base happiness and having having Chlorophyll be its secondary ability as a Leaf Annie when it fully evolves. That aside, you have a really solid attacker. You're a really solid attacker that's decently fast, can hit pretty hard, and it has pretty solid typing for the most part, as long as you avoid fire and flying types. Anyways, don't have much else to say on Swaddle, but there you go. Next up on the list, Venipede. I love Scolipede, and I'm going to say this now: get speed boost. You need to get speed boost on this thing. Seriously. You need to get speed boost. Actually, wait, no, it doesn't even get speed boost in this game. Never mind. Forget what I said. Get Poison Point. Get Poison Point, because Poison Point will eventually become Poison Touch for Scolipede when fully evolved. If you get Swarm, you're stuck with that the entire time for the rest of its life. But still, Scolipede is pretty quick. Hits extremely hard with moves like Poison Jet. With moves like Poison Jab and Mega Horn, but now it gets even more access to even more moves. Spikes and Toxic Spikes if you want to try and set up a little bit. Twin Needle level 17 for all forms, so you have a better bug type move to work with. And Scolipede now gets access to Superpower at a slightly high level 61, but it's still Superpower. You can absolutely obliterate rock and steel types that can cause you trouble. So, Scolipede is still good. Got some slight tweaks to its moveset to make it more viable aside from just being an attacker. And Poison Touch can be a fun ability to absolutely make your opponent squirm. That aside, it's got I love its shiny as well. And I have two shinies of this thing. So, yeah. I have a pretty good stake in Venipede, and I can vouch for it being good. Something I can't fully vouch for is Oddish. Yeah, I know people are gonna make the joke that it's the weed Pokemon. I don't care. what I do care about is how good this thing can actually be, and honestly, it does all right. It's not the best. It's not the best. It's not the best grass poison type, but it certainly holds its own when needed. And the fact that it has a split evolution line can be even better. And in terms of stuff it can get, if you get chlorophyll, you're going to keep that all the way to the end. If you evolve into a Vileplume, Runaway will eventually become Stench, and then Effect Spore for Vileplume. And Vileplume got a bit of a boost to its special attack and defense and HP, so it's slightly more tanky than normal, and hits ever so slightly harder as well, which is nice. As for Blossom on the other hand, also got the same boost, and also gets own tempo if you got Runaway as your ability. Plus it's still a really solid mod. Both sides are really solid. It's just you need to choose between grass and poison or pure grass type. Honestly, I would probably go with the secondary typing, but to each their own. You can pick which one you think you would get more mileage out of. And hey, this line also has gotten some upgrades to its moveset, with Leech Seed available for Oddish, Petal Teams for Blossom. You get moves like Drain Punch, surprisingly enough, Earth Power, and Quiver Dance for Vileplume and Blossom respectively. And in fact, Blossom gets Earth Power as well, and Quiver Dance, so that's doubly good for it. This thing is actually pretty solid. You can do quite a lot of work with this thing. It just comes down to how well can you make it count on your team. That's it. Good mod overall. Good mod overall, no matter which side you pick. So, moving on to the next one, Bellsprout. Why is this thing still? Why do you constantly feel like why do you feel so awkward to use? Seriously, I don't like this thing. I don't like this thing for the simple aspect is there's so many other grass poison types from Kanto, and this one doesn't stand out to me for any reason. Its moves are just alright. It doesn't really get anything of note. Doesn't have anything of note normally. Although granted, it gets Crunch now as a victory. You get Crunch now as a victory bell, which is something, and Power Whip if you choose to stay unevolved for a bit. But I don't know. This thing just is kind of meh. Just kind of a meh mon, honestly, in my opinion. But I know. Some people will definitely like this thing. Although, honestly, you might be better off going with the Weed Pokemon just because it's funny, and just because funny meme, and also because it genuinely would do better than this thing. You can't even trade this thing away. You can't even trade this thing away either to get something better. So, yeah, that kind of sucks as well. Yeah, I don't really have. Oh yeah, I will say this: Victory Bell does get something at least. If your Bellsprout has Limber, that becomes intimidating on Victory Bell. So I guess that's something. But yeah, nothing else to really comment. This thing is just kind of outclassed by some of the other Pokemon we've already seen. Speaking of being outclassed, one of the best early game grass types to pick up in the entire series. We've got the one and only Shroomish. I love this thing. I don't know why people don't use this thing more. This thing is fun. This thing is fun, and it's got a pretty cool type combination that only one other Pokemon line has ever had, to my knowledge. I don't remember all the Galarian Pokemon off the top of my head, but give me a break on this one, okay? Anyways, Shroomish is good. Shroomish starts off slow, but it gets so much better once it evolves. Grass fighting type with Technician or Poison Heal for your two abilities. Where do you go? Where can you go with this? I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. You can do a lot of things. Technician is fun because you can use Technician boosted Mach Punch, pair with stuff like Rock Tomb as well. You can get Spore as well as a potential move on this thing. You can put everything to sleep, and then set up and sweep. Granted, you don't get Spore for quite a long time, but the point still stands that Spore is available for you to get. This thing even gets Drain Punch and Thunder Punch as a Breloom. So you have even more ways to heal aside from Poison Heal, and you have a way to counter your biggest weakness in flying. What more could you ask for from this thing? I guess maybe it's a little on the slow side, but I mean, with the proper nature and EV training, this thing is still very solid, even despite that. So you definitely can make this thing work. It just depends. Just pick the ability that you think you would get. Just pick the ability you like more. Do you want to be able to Mach Punch everything into oblivion, or do you want to be, or do you want to get hit, or do you want to use Poison Heal to have basically free leftovers? The choice is up to you on that one. Choose your fate. Moving on. Next one is Execute. Would anybody even use this thing if the Alolan form didn't exist? Honestly, I think that the answer to that is no. Because really, I don't know. This thing is just this thing is weird. It's slow. It's so slow. It's slow. It just feels awkward to use in the beginning as an Execute. No one really remembers this thing. It doesn't get anything really interesting aside from a really crappy signature move of Barrage that it had for a while. I don't really know about this one. I don't really know about this one, Chief. Really, you would be better off using something else. I guess it gets Harvest, but since we can't farm berries in this game, Harvest is borderline useless most of the 90% of the time. And Chlorophyll doesn't help either, so I don't know. This one's a big old pass on me. You would be better off using a different grass type. Speaking of that's moving on to the next thing, Murkrow. Going in the complete opposite direction, we go from one Aqua Pokemon to, well, a Pokemon with a really cool design but kind of crappy moveset normally. Murkrow and Honchkrow are a weird case. I have always wanted to use these things, but their movesets just didn't really work for what I wanted. Now I think this can work a lot better now. You can make Honchkrow a special attacker in a sense. It gets access to Heat Wave, access to Drill Peck, access to Brave Bird, and it's pretty fast, pretty intimidating, and overall just a pretty good Pokemon, all right. Prankster and Super Luck for Murkrow, and Prankster and Super Luck for Murkrow, so any set of moves you do get, you can get priority on, and Super Luck it just to become a critting machine. It's like, what else do you want? Honchkrow got a pretty good buff too, in terms of getting more HP as well to make it slightly more tanky. Oh, hi, Shroomish. And that prankster ability on Murkrow, that becomes Moxie. Yeah. So you definitely have stuff you can work with here. It really comes down to what you want to do. Do you want to be able to potentially sweep through teams with a Moxie Honchkrow, or do you want to crit literally everything in the video game with Super Luck and a Scope Lens that we'll eventually get later? Decisions, huh? Just pick again. This one comes down to which ability suits your playstyle more. Do you want to just crit absolutely everything, or do you want to be able to sweep everything with a really broken ability in some cases? Choice is up to you on that one, but this thing is really fun. This thing's really fun now. You should really try using this if you haven't looked at Murkrow before. Another Pokemon of interest that also evolves from a Duskstone as well is Misdreavus. Hey guys, it doesn't affect Misdreavus. I will never forget that from that from that Coliseum Let's Play for the rest of my life. It just Pokemon not knowing how to deal with Mischievous. Anyway, what does Mischievous and Miss Magus have up their sleeves this time? Well, quite a quite a few interesting things, that's for sure. Quite a few things for that matter. They still has Levitate for its main ability as Mischievous, which is fine. But there's a catch now. Miss Magus, Mischievous and Miss Magus get some interesting moves to work with now. Nasty plot, anybody? That on that side, Nasty plot aside, there's some other moves that you can work with, like Wonder Room, Icy Wind, Inferno, Destiny Bond, Hypnosis as well, and just the other moves that it already can learn. It's quite a few. This thing's got some interesting moves to work with. And Miss Maggie's got a boost as well, so it can hit a little harder as well. This line's gonna be interesting. If you've ever struggled in Platinum with the Miss Magus what am I thinking about? What am I thinking of? If you struggle with Fantinus Miss Magus, if you struggle with Miss Magus and you wanted to use that, this is the time to use this thing. It will do really well for you with even better type coverage than it already has previously. So I would say go nuts. See what works for you. All right, that is all the normal encounters that we can do for Pinwheel Forest right now. I would start going over the encounters in the double battle grass, but here's the thing: we can't get access to that just yet. We need to get a little bit further into the game before we can go access it. So double battle grass will be skipped for now, but considering that there's other stuff we need to do in this area at a later point I will be going over those Pokemon later when we get access to them. I will say you aren't missing a whole lot. There's quite a few Pokemon that are just evolved forms of stuff that we've already run into, but aside from that, not much else was mentioned there. Something I can mention though is that in the shaking grass, you can find Audino like usual, but just like with some of the previous areas, you can find some of the starters, specifically all the other grass type starters, and also the elemental monkeys because of course you can. That aside, where do I want to go here? Really, I'm just gonna go over these Pokemon rapid fire, but you'll see there are things on screen, of course. Bulbasaur, don't need to say much. Gets quite a few status moves to work with, and is a pretty tanky grass poison type, and gets some pretty good moves to work with as well. Plus, you can't beat the original #1 Pokemon. Yes, I'm aware. Yes, I'm aware there were other Pokemon were made before Bulbasaur, but Bulbasaur has the distinction of being the #1, the literal first Pokemon in the Pokédex. So you can't take that one away from Bulbasaur. Anyway, Bulbasaur aside, moving on to Bulbasaur aside, Chikorita, a tanky grass type. Doesn't really work as well as you think it would. But Chikorita still has some stuff it can pull. First of all, it's one of the tankiest. It's a pretty tanky starter, which is always a good thing to work with. So you've got that on your side. You got that on your side, which is one thing. Meganium, when it gets stun spore, sleep power to work with, has some pretty alright moves to work with. You got stuff like Body Slam and Sync Resist to work with as well. And just in general, this thing's supposed to be good at walling. It's not the best. It's slightly hard to do that given its typing, but but it still has some stuff it can work with. Speaking of which, let's see what this is. It is a Snivy. Okay, I don't need that. I have the evolved form, but good to interesting to note, I guess. And I can't run. All right. Anyway, moving on from Chikorita. We've got Trico. This thing has always been a weird case. Going from a Pokemon that all dominated Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald with special attacking Leaf Blade, and then switching over to being a bit of a mixed attacker in some cases. And the same thing applies here. Access to Thunder Punch, access to Low Kick, Magical Leaf as well for some reason, and stab Leaf Blade, and now access to Dragon Pulse as well. Can't really go wrong with that now, can you? I guess it comes to this thing comes down to, do you want to be a special attack? Do you need a special attacker or a physical attacker on your team? That's really what it comes down to. So, I would say, so again, take your pick. Take your pick on what do you think you need more. Oh yeah, also get adaptability. That'll help you quite a bit. Trust me. Moving on to the last of the starters, Torchwig. It's slow, but it hits like a freight train when it gets to move. And Torterra gets something that it desperately needed. No, a stab physical grass type move that's not Razor Leaf or Wood Hammer. It gets access to Seed Bomb now. In the higher levels, and even better, if you want to double down on Torterra's strengths and also fix its weakness, it gets access to Shell Smash now at level 69. Nice. But anyway, with the chance to potentially completely remove your slow speed stat from the equation and improving your attack stat even more, it's a very interesting prospect. And Torterra gets the bonus of having Sturdy for its second ability, so there's a chance that you can get Shell Smash in the higher level, in the really high level, set up with Shell Smash while tanking a hit with Sturdy, and then just go nuts. Granted, that is still a risk, but still, it's a risk I think it's a risk worth taking, so I would definitely go for that. And with that, that's all the Pokemon we can encounter in this area for now. Yes, there are Pokemon. Yes, we can get some fishing encounters. No, we cannot get those right now because the one place where we can go get some water is blocked off. So we're gonna have to wait on that a little bit before we can do that. So we'll be coming back here later, to get the Pokemon that are available in the doubles grass, and also the fishing encounters later. So don't worry. That aside, we are almost through this area. It takes a little bit of time, especially if you're not fully paying attention to what's going on screen. What do I want to do here? I should probably just switch. I'll just switch and spam Twister, I guess. Yeah. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. Alright. Alright, let's do Twister. I probably could have done Leech Seed, but... Alright, Fury Swipes doesn't do a lot. Actually, I'll set it. Oh, nope, never mind. I guess I won't be setting the Leech Seed. Alright, Leech. Actually, you know, how did I do that? Jeez, I am not playing well. I am not playing well today. something happened earlier today that I can't really say anything on right now, but it was I was doing some other stuff, Pokemon related stuff earlier, and needless to say that didn't go very well. I wasn't playing very well in that earlier, and it seems like I'm not playing well now. I'm just derping all over the place apparently. So I need to get on top of that. And this mighty doesn't have Intimidate. That's sad. I was hoping for the free attack boost that I can't use, but I'll take that. Another Fang. Okay. Goodbye. Glania. Alright, Trisha. Alright, and let's heal. Let's heal. Alright. And now we can Metal Claw. Metal Claw. And Metal Claw again to finish you off. And then we got one. Oh, come on. Ah, the curse of being slow. Wake up. Okay, let's speed. You know what? Let's speed this up a little bit. Because I don't need to switch. I just need to not wake up. I just need to wake up. There we go. There you go. Down goes Glammeow. Level 25 as well. Takedown. I'll take that. Alright. Alright, there we go. And we got another fight. I know. Actually, wait. Hold on. Actually, I think we can reach the water over here. Alright. Well, nothing special in the water encounters. I guess I'll quickly mention the water encounters then, I guess, since I guess I was wrong. I forgot what this side of the... I was thinking of the other spot where you can go fish in this area, but I guess you can fish over here. So, my bad. Stuff you can get in the water, nothing special, just Psyduck and Poliwag, and if you can fish in the special, if you can somehow fish in the special water, Poliwhirl and Politoed are your two encounters there. There. Now that's everything we can get in this area for the time being. Alright. Alright. There we go. Down goes the Vigoroth and Torchwig. Alright, let's see how this works. Psybeam. Uh-oh. Well, that didn't work. I'm gonna need... Looks like I might need to do some grinding off screen there. Alright, Twister. Metal Claw again on this Mothra. Ooh, got the attack boost. Okay. I think I can kill this thing now. Erica, as long as I live this, I do. Metal Claw. Got it. Yeah, we can get stuff over there. I'll have to... I do have repels, I think, so I can get... Let's see what that item is over there. Alright, let's see what this is. This is Grass Knot. There we go. That is a weird texture glitch. Alright. It's probably a setting that... It's probably one of the settings I had, but whatever. Oops. Alright. Let's heal up Trisha for this. And Royale, and let's do this. Last guy. Alright. Pursuer? Alright. Alright, one last guy to beat. Let's beat this guy. Alright. Metal Claw. Alright. Alright. Just keep chipping away at this guy. Or you can keep doing that. Alright, come on. One more hit should do it. As long as you don't... Okay, good. You didn't heal. And there we go. Push up to 26 already. Scraggy. Okay, I need to switch. Now I gotta switch. Alright. Leaf Tornado again. Pedro. Alright. Alright. Alright, Trisha, finish it. Alright. There we go. Carnivine. Last one, I think. Yep, that's the last one. Vine Whip. Alright. Another claw again. Almost. As long as he doesn't get a crit, we've got... Oh, never mind, you just threw it. You just threw any chance you had of potentially winning. There we go. That's it. That's the end of Team Plasma then. Got the skull back. And that's... Who's this? Storm. Okay, I thought this was Root. Oh yeah, Root is somewhere else. Alright. And there we go. And that is basically it for this episode. Alright. And with that, and we can just go to Lenore, and she gives us some moonstones to use. So if you picked up a Nidoran, a Muna, or anything else that evolves from a moonstone I was forgetting, you can evolve it. Also, don't forget to pick up this item, King's Rocks. So if you wanted a Slow King or a Politoed, you can now get one. Wait a minute. This guy's not here. Oh wait, no, there he is. Yeah, he's just further down. This guy is blocking the double battle grass. We cannot do anything about that until he moves, which is not until later. So, before we end things off, walk over here, grab a quick claw from this guy. That's a pretty. Oh, that's a good a good item to have if you have a slow Pokemon like Patricia is at the moment. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Anyway, now we can cross the wonderful Skyover Bridge, and then once we get into Castelia City, we'll end things off here. So next time, what we're going to do, we're going to explore Castelia City, any of the potential changes over there. Possibly the encounters on Route 4 as well, and then we're going to try and take on Berg, the gym leader of this city. It might take an episode or two, but hey, it's a big city, and we're living that big life. So, let's do that. And that one's going to ask about Geonet, we don't care. So, with that said, I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye.